Hello, everyone. Good night, everybody. Hey, good night, everybody. Good night.
Good night, everyone. Good night. Welcome, 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 welcome.
Welcome. Good night, everybody. What's going on, everybody? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, guys. Come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in, everybody. As you're coming in, go ahead and like, go ahead and share. Go ahead and put it on your social media status. You know the drill. Put it on your WhatsApp. Put it on your Instagram. Put it on Facebook. Let somebody know that we are
Yes,
live. We are
yes,
live.
yes,
Let
yes.
somebody know we are live.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
Hi, welcome. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Good night. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Good night, everyone. We are excited. We are happy to see you.
Yes,
We
yes,
have
yes.
great things in store for you tonight.
Definitely.
And we just want to thank the Lord for being here. Lord, we thank you. We thank you for the platform. Thank you for those who are on tonight. Go ahead and share. Go and share. Bring somebody when you are coming. That is the protocol. When you come on the
Yes.
live, bring someone with you. So take somebody with you on the live, guys. You cannot just keep this information to yourself. Please
Yes.
go ahead and take somebody with you. So before we go ahead and get started, my name is Shanice Layler Bogle, and I am the co-host of the channel. And this is the channel
Yes.
when two become
One.
one. And this is the founder, the host of this channel, also co-host. What is your name, good sir?
Good night, everybody. My name is Anthony Bogle. I'm a marriage and relationship speaker. In Jesus' name.
Amen. And what do I
Amen.
do? I am a trauma and relationship specialist or an expert in that. That is the area that I serve in. I help women who are hurting after childhood trauma heal so that they can experience beautiful relationships. And so if you're coming in your relationship or you're going in a marriage with a lot of unhealed wounds, a lot of trauma, then I'm the person for you
Amen. Amen. We call
to
you the
heal.
trauma boss.
They called me the trauma boss. I only claim that
Amen.
name under certain
Amen.
circumstances.
Amen.
But
Amen.
to God be the glory. Good night, everybody. We're going to be talking about tonight. By the way, big up to our new subscribers. Welcome, 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 and welcome to our day ones. Go ahead and share, guys. Go ahead and share the live. Take one person with you. We're going to be talking about how trust issues or trust problems, challenges with trusting people can mess up your relationship. And not only that, how do we rebuild trust in a relationship? So once again, we're talking about tonight trust problem. Problem in a
Wow.
marriage. You
Wow.
can't trust that man. You can't trust that woman. And it's messing up the relationship. So how do you build trust in a messy, torn, abandoned, betrayed, disappointed relationship like a marriage, especially when you feel like you're stuck with a person. And in marriage, sometimes a lot of us feel like we're stuck from time to time, especially when bad things happen, right?
Yes, yes,
We
yes.
can't just get up and run because we've been betrayed. And funny enough, I was looking at something. Statistics show that a lot of times, or most times, their inability to trust is coming from your previous experiences. A lot of times, when you get into a relationship and you can't trust man, you can't trust woman, you're actually coming into the relationship with a lot of that.
Yes.
So most times it is coming from the external affairs, and then you take that into your marriage. So it's not impossible that the marriage is the reason or the spouse caused the problem. But many times we see the inability to bounce back when that trust problem was breached
Yes.
from childhood. So, what is trust?
Ah,
Ah,
you just threw it on me. You just threw it on me. But as you said,
what
as
is
you
trust?
as you rightly just said, I feel like when it comes to trust issues, it's twofold.
Yeah.
It's something that you can be carrying from, past situations, relationships, and also something that is, you're dealing with in your marriage. So I feel like that is, is something that is really dreadful when you think
Yeah.
about it. We've had our fair share in our marriage, so we know how heartbreaking that is.
Yep.
Um, and so, if anybody is really dealing with that, I can definitely tell you. I can just imagine, and not just imagine, as I said, we
Yeah.
lived it. So it's heart wrenching.
It is
It's
heartbreaking.
it's heart wrenching. So back to your
Question: What is trust?
what is
What is
trust?
trust to you? It doesn't have to be perfect, just in your own words. What is trust? And while he's answering, there's a question that is pinned. It's not pinned, but it's in the comments. Is trust a feeling or a choice? Think about that, guys. Is trust a feeling or a choice? I want you guys to drop it in the chat or in the comment section. Is trust something that you need to feel, or is trust something that you should decide to do? And who should be deciding to do this? The one giving the trust or the one wanting the trust? Is it a feeling or a choice?
Well, for me, we're talking about relationship is the ability to feel safe,
Yeah.
in your relationship.
Yes.
To the
Yes.
ability to be open and vulnerable.
Yeah.
Having that person giving you that that reassurance in your relationship that, listen, I got you.
Yeah.
And trust, it doesn't mean that our feeling open with a person, it doesn't mean that the person is not capable of hurting you. It doesn't mean
Yeah.
that the person is perfect.
Good point. Good
But
point.
at the same time, it's really giving you that safety, that reassurance that, listen, I got your back. You don't have to worry about anything.
Yep. Yep.
So that is really what it is for me.
You're correct.
Yeah,
That's a
safety.
that's a great definition. That feeling of confidence and the ability to rely on the person to say, "Hey, I believe you are reliable. I can lean on you." So I like that.
And I also
Yeah.
want to answer your other question.
It's just a feeling or
Yeah,
or a choice.
is that is it's I think it's two part, because
Explain
yeah,
how.
you have to feel safe. When it comes to trusting a person, it's that feeling that comes with knowing that, listen, I don't have to worry.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
understand? But at the same time, it's also a decision.
Oh wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel the same way. I always say, I feel like love is a decision.
It is.
It's not just a feeling,
Right.
because
Right.
again, we know the whole aspect of lust, we know the whole aspect of, infatuation and all that
Yeah.
type of stuff. And a lot of persons mistake that for love,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But for me, really, it's twofold.
Twofold.
It's based on a decision, and it's also a
A
feeling.
feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. And that also is correct. Trust and love.
Good
Hey,
night, Team
Team
Christian. Big up
Christian.
yourself.
Good night. It is absolutely true that when you're trusting someone, if you are in a relationship and you find that there are some trust problems or trust issues, as we're saying tonight, it is really important that we realize trusting is a feeling that you must have. Because one of the things is that somebody could be doing their best and the feeling is absent in the on the receiving end.
Yes.
Would you say there is trust in the relationship? Even if it can be proven that that spouse is doing nothing wrong and they have their spouse's back and they're not doing anything or causing any harm and they're doing all the right things. If the receiving end is not feeling it, is there trust?
No.
But the person doing
They-
everything
They're
that
doing it.
they're supposed to
They're
be
doing
doing.
it, but at the same time,
So,
the whole
okay,
concept of trust, it has to take form in something.
okay.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah. So now you're going to who is so who should be giving or receiving
Yeah.
that makes trust.
Yes. It has to take shape. So I can be doing all that I am doing. That's just an individual thing. But you
Oh.
looking on now is interpreting that
Right.
to say, okay, I can trust this person because this is what this person is showing.
So by definition, going back to definition now, there's something in counseling that we say how you perceive the thing
It's really
is
based
how
on
you
perception.
receive the thing.
And how, yeah.
So the trust is inexistent and cultivated
Yes.
by not
Or let us
the
say there are different things or different ways of showing that whole aspect of trust.
right,
Like the
right.
things that you do, or the things that you do, the things that you say, like how you operate.
Right.
The person is now looking on to say, okay, based on these things that I am saying, my interpretation of that is, listen, I can trust this
I like
person.
that. I like that. My interpretation
Yes, yes,
of all the things you're doing
yes,
is I can trust you or
yeah,
I can't trust you.
yes, yes.
So that means then, guys, that trust is, hey Sam, that trust
Hey,
is
Samantha.
manifested through doing, but it is received by the receiver. That makes it trust.
Yes,
Very good. I love that. And that is absolutely true, because you could be doing, but by definition, the definition says the ability to be confident, the
yes,
ability to rely. So if you are doing what you're doing and I don't feel, then there's no trust. There is absolutely no trust. And so that is why it's even so important that if you are in a situation, for those who are rebuilding trust in a relationship, then that takes in a big, big, big decision
yes.
or making a choice to try to trust.
Definitely, definitely.
Because outside of that, there is no trust.
Definitely. And again,
That's
that is,
important.
and as you mentioned, it's really important based on how the person perceives it, because
Yeah.
you do have persons that, as we talk about, we are struggling with trust issues. And as we said at first, or as I said at first, it's twofold. You could be coming out of a relationship, or, been in different
Yeah.
relationships where you have now developed this phobia, like you're now fearful no matter how this person is providing safety for you.
Yeah.
You're just fearful that something might happen. You get what I'm saying?
Waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yeah, it's like almost like, okay, I see this, and sometimes you can be so blinded that,
Yeah.
no matter how the person is or what the person is doing, your mindset is just, you're not even looking at that.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just, as you just mentioned, you're looking at the shoe to drop. Okay, men are failures.
Yeah.
They always do this, or women are
Or
failures.
women.
They're always doing this.
Yeah.
So I'm just expecting you to do something
Right.
without even looking at the fact that, man, it's been months or it's been years that I've just been, in your face and
Yeah.
providing safety for you and doing all of this. But based on where you at,
Yeah.
you have not been healed from that past
Right.
trauma.
Right.
Of being hurt over and over and disappointed.
Yeah.
You can still look at it as
Yeah.
being unsafe.
And what really is coming out at me is what we started with. So the underlying part of trusting is somebody didn't open up the choice to try.
Yes, yes,
The underlying aspect of that is somebody may not have said, I will try to trust. And I know that it's a lot of it, it's what you're seeing, it's what you may not be seeing, but trusting then really means it's not what you see or don't see. It's your choice
decision.
to
Yes.
rely.
Yes, yes,
That's powerful. I hope somebody caught that. It is not so much what you're seeing or not seeing. Trust then means it's your decision to rely on that person.
you have to be vulnerable. Comes with
So
vulnerability.
let's dig a little deeper then, because it's if the inability to trust is most time brought in by childhood experiences or rely on the person, yes. So if the inability then is, if we're caught up in not being able to trust people, most times because of what we experience, then that also means many of us need to experience something to start to
Yes,
trust again.
yes,
Right, guys?
yes.
So some experiencing is lacking. There are some things that we need to experience. I tell you, like living with people who you can't trust. Somebody said it's like sleeping with the enemy. It's one of the worst positions to be in life,
Yes.
when you have somebody in your home. It's this, and in this context, we're talking about marriage and spouse and partners. When you have somebody who you can't trust, it's one of the worst predicaments to be in life.
Yes, yes,
Imagine being around somebody who you don't feel safe with. You have a lot of war on your inside because you're trying to keep the peace on the outside. And so, can you talk a little bit on that regarding how people function, how does the world, or how do we always expect people to actually, we say to people all the time, heal or move on from it, or time will heal the wound of mistrust. Do you think time heals the wound of mistrust, or the
I feel like
tearing of trust?
time really in every aspect of healing is important.
But does time
No,
heal wounds? I'm going too fast. Does time heal wounds?
guys, she's drilling me over here, but at the same time, just give me an opportunity.
The question's coming in too rapid. All right, let me slow it down.
I feel like time in every aspect of healing is very important. We're humans, and a lot of times we're not able to, as you always said, as a trauma boss, you always said, the body keeps the score.
The body keeps the score. Yeah.
And so you have so many persons really that has gone through traumatic experiences,
Yeah.
and it lingers for years.
Yeah.
So it shows that even though time is important,
Yeah.
the self work has to be done.
Come on now.
You understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
And where a lot of persons falter in that aspect is a lot of times really not being able to identify,
Yeah.
whether it's where this is come from, where this has came from, and to connect the dots
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
lot of these areas. So I do feel like time is important, but
Yeah.
at the same time, you have to be able to pinpoint
Yeah.
what is really going on and attacking that in a sense where you're learning the different skills on how to regulate that feelings or that
Yeah.
emotion. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Do you feel like spouses who are guilty, or the perpetrators, we'll call them, or the people who, the offenders, let's use offenders. Do you feel like people who have caused a rip in their relationship regarding trust, do you feel like a lot of times they hide in time? Like, do you think they are hiding in this idea that, okay, over time, my spouse will get over it?
Yes.
And why is it that there is so much safety in this presentation of time will heal wounds?
Yeah,
So
because
people are hiding in
because
time.
a lot then that it goes right back to what I'm saying. It's almost like a wound. You get a cut,
Yeah.
and in time it will heal.
So, okay.
You get a cut, and so you're based on what you've seen, you've grown up and you've seen, you get a cut, and over time, the scab start to come on, and
Yeah.
over time it heals.
Right,
So
right.
I feel like that's where a lot of persons look at the physical aspect of a cut,
Right, right.
and the emotional aspect, and feel like, okay,
Right,
it's
the
the same process.
Yes.
You get what I'm saying?
Come on.
I
Love
feel
that.
I feel like we look at it
Yeah.
as the same process. I was guilty of that. And
Right.
I always said I used to look at, trauma and the whole aspect of, the cut.
You're
It's
right.
the same process.
Same process.
But at the same time, we have to realize that emotions is not about while there's an healing process.
Right.
It's not just about, okay, just give it time. Just give
Right.
it time. It will heal on its own. And again, I go back to say, it's about identifying what is really going on
Yes.
and regulating that emotion and that feeling. And where your partner comes in, it's really creating that safe space. Like, it's almost like going back, and it's almost like when we just started dating. I made you feel safe. I made sure this is going on. I gave you this reassurance.
Right.
You have to go right back to that place where have to. It's almost like recreate that safe space for that person in order for
Okay.
that person to
Yeah.
begin that healing process step by step, like a baby.
Okay. And that's true. That is true. Great answer.
Yeah, stress me out.
I'm stressing you. Do you feel like, so who should be doing the work with the trust? So let's say a husband.
Partner that has offended you.
So the
offended person.
offender should be doing the work. So the offended should be doing any work?
Yes.
You feel like the offended has work to do?
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely. It starts with, let's say, infidelity in the relationship. It goes to, okay, I am the one that has offended you.
Right.
right? I have to acknowledge that. You get what I'm saying? I have to know, provide whatever information that,
I'm seeking.
yeah, you need. You need, okay, I want to know this, I want to know point A and point B.
Yeah.
And be okay in giving that information.
And more, but
And,
yeah, yeah.
and more, being transparent, being vulnerable and saying, listen, okay, I did this, and
Yeah.
you're asking this, I am giving you
Right, closure.
that
Yeah.
details. And
Okay.
then now, how do you, as the person that has been offended,
Right,
process
right.
that information? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's really based on giving you that space to ask questions, to whatever it
Whatever
is
the
that,
details.
yeah,
Yeah.
you need to help to facilitate
Right.
your part of the whole
Right.
step-by-step process.
And that's good. So the point of that is the person who is offended can't just sit down and say, okay, I'm waiting for the offender to build back my trust. Because I'm glad we started out by establishing what is trust. Is trust something that I'm getting from this person only? Or is trust something that I am going to be deciding to do as well?
Yes.
So we see that that's twofold. So we can't just sit down and say, okay, I'm just going to wait until the person who hurt me prove and provide all the good things in my life. There must be some work or action being done on the part of the person who has been hurt as well.
Definitely.
And so that is where the meeting in the middle, the compromise, the halfway. There are some things that we want to establish regarding without trust. Without trust in a relationship, there are so many things that will happen in a relationship that there is no trust. One of which is a relationship can't work without trust. You believe that?
Yes, definitely.
Can the relationship just mask it off and kind of pretend it off and just
It's
work?
me. That's like the it's almost, you would say, the number one thing, because again,
Yeah,
safety has to be there
yeah,
for a person to say, okay, this is something that I can
Yeah,
move
yeah.
forward in. So you have to create that safety first. You meet
Yeah.
somebody, you and them talk, you get to know the person. Gradually you realize that, okay, him not gonna thief your money, him not go, like different
Yes.
aspects, financial area, the emotional area.
Like the life, guys. Like and share.
Yeah, you like different aspects of getting to know that person. Creates
Yeah.
that safety. Feel safe to go out with that person. Feel safe to, be in different spaces without
Yes, yes.
thinking about, okay, what's gonna happen now? What's gonna happen next? Am I
Right.
safe here? Is he gonna cover me in certain situations? Like these things help to create safety in that relationship
Okay.
as you you move forward.
Okay.
So definitely, that's very vital.
Right.
Definite vital.
Very vital.
Yeah.
So without trust, the relationship can't work. If you're on here and you're saying, okay, my spouse, I'm just going to give them time to go over and get over this thing because we can bounce back and pretend like this thing never happened. There wasn't a breach in our relationship and the trust. It's not going to work. The relationship can't work without trust. It is not going to work without trust. And when we say work, we don't mean years together, or we were together until they passed, or God called them home, so we worked. No, that's not what work means. The relationship is not is not regarded successful. When you talk about a relationship working, was it regarded as success in the eyes of God? There are many people, like we said one time, that you may be married in the natural, but you're separated in the spirit. You're not really together. You are there representing in the public, but on the inside, internally, you're not really bonded as one. You're not one. So imagine being divorced in the spirit, but you are walking around together in a ring and, a union in the natural.
And I quickly want to add, it just pretty much came to me. It's trust is so important.
Yeah.
In everything, whether it's a business, trust plays a very important.
Yeah.
It has a very important place when it
Yes.
comes to any aspect of a person's life.
Yes.
But when we look at relationship on a whole, I believe once that thing called trust is
Yes.
broken, especially, you hurt somebody, whatever it is, you will never get the same version of that person
Yes.
ever again.
Yes. 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 Yes.
you know, that innocence, that level of vulnerability, you know, you will never get that same person ever
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
You understand? And that is just a sad reality of that whole aspect of breaking
That
that
trust.
trust.
Yeah.
You understand? You can do all you can to get to a certain place where we are now seeing eye to eye. You know, forgiveness comes in,
Yeah.
and we have to understand forgiveness doesn't mean the person is going to forget. Do you agree with that?
I agree. The memories will be
The
there,
memory is
but you'll
going.
not use it against the person.
Yes, it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that the person is just gonna. Oh my God, this never happens. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The thought process, the memory, the only thing you know, it's just not going to be as painful as it was. Let's say a few years ago or a
Yeah.
few days ago, whatever time frame that is.
Yeah.
It's just not going to. But the person is still going to
Remember
remember.
here and there. It shouldn't be the precursor to say, or it should not be the determining factor in how you treat the person. So if
Yes.
you say you forgive, that is the situation that happened should not be coming up as, okay, if you do this or if you still look like you are, then I am good with you. No, you have relinquished the right to hold it against them. Forgiveness is when you have given up your right to say, hey, I am going to hold this against you. That is gone. You've removed it. You have decided with God that, hey, I'm not going to hold this against the person. And you mentioned something about the person will you'll not get back the person at the same place where you broke the trust.
Yes.
I want to point out something there that psychologically, you may not get back the person at the place you left them when you hurt them, but at the same time, you will get back the person if everything is worked out and okay. It doesn't mean you won't get back your spouse to a point where there is no awareness.
Yes.
So awareness is now going to step in and say, okay, it is important that as a healthy, healed person, I learn how to guard my heart.
Yes.
So guarding the heart doesn't mean, oh, I'm going to shut off from my spouse, but you now operating and knowing that this is possible to happen again.
Yes.
Or this is possible to happen because they are humans. So that innocence, like you said, oh, my spouse will never do this. Oh, my partner will never betray me or backstab me. It doesn't always mean infidelity. But oh, my spouse will never talk about me with my friends. And let's say they do that.
Yes.
Let's say they carry a business and you feel so betrayed, the trust is torn.
Yes.
Especially if it's a case of stepping outside. Then guess what? Yeah, you will not get back the innocence of that person relying so much on you. Like, oh, they will not do that. Now you will say, they may do that, but if they do, I choose to go along with my marriage. So the awareness becomes now active, where that is what we mean when we say you will not get them back at the primitive, the childlike stage of the marriage. Once that trust is torn, you're now getting a matured version where awareness is now key. Guarding the self is also going to be key because the brain has a negativity bias. When something happens, whether good or bad, psychologists say when the brain experiences something good or bad, guys, guess what? The brain is going to choose to remember more vividly the bad experience.
Yes.
And it's not because your body is wicked, but your body's number one.
Safety.
The body's number one priority is self-preservation.
Yes.
So because it doesn't want to be hurt again, because your body doesn't want to experience pain again, the body makes the bad situation more vivid. So it says danger, danger. It warns you now. That is why many people are hypersensitive to trusting. Trust problems, every little thing, the slightest thing, they start to see through a different lens. They hear through a different lens. Once you've been hurt before, your brain now adopts this negativity bias because they don't want to be hurt again. And so this is now the operation of the hurt person. The hurt person operates like that. Now, another thing that I want to look at is When it comes down to trust, like we said, the relationship can't build on trust, right? And the next one is building on, if there is no trust, you're going to be building on a shaky foundation. So when the foundation is not right, you can't build on that.
Yes.
What you're going to be building is fantasy versus reality. It's not real. It's dreamlike, made up in the head. What else are you going to be building? You're going to be building masking and pretending versus reality, versus
Yes.
addressing, versus healing. What else can't happen? Healing becomes difficult. If there is right now no trust in your home, if there is no trust in your relationship, healing becomes difficult. There's going to be tension. The relationship becomes strained, and there is going to be a lot of resentment,
Yes.
a lot of secret resentment. Psalms 118 verse 8 says, "It is better to solely trust in the Lord with all your heart. It's better to trust in the Lord than to put your confidence in man." Is the Lord saying don't trust people, don't trust your spouse? No, but the Bible says guard your heart. We did a live recently, or some months ago, when we talk about the number one reason relationships must be something. I don't remember the full name of the video, but the number one reason like why relationships fail. And one of the main reasons, when I read that scripture, guys, I was blown away. I was so shocked. The scripture said one of the main things that a man should do is to learn how to guard the heart.
Yes.
Guard the heart. Because out of it flows the issues of life. And not only that, it says the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it?
Yes.
It is I, the Lord, who try the heart. So if God has to be the one that does the trying and the pulling and the trodding and the testing, listen, then us as humans have to understand that people will fail you. It
Amen.
may not be in the same way John Tom failed his wife or Betty failed her husband. It may not be the same failure, but at some point in the relationship, you are going to disappoint me. And I am going to disappoint you.
Yes.
I am going to breach and step on the toes of your trust. And you're going to step on the toes of my trust. And so many times, this is why we say when people are hung up and stuck on moving past a betrayal or a trust, most times this betrayal, the body knows this feeling. It knows this scenario from somewhere before.
Yes.
We find statistics wise that when a couple experiences hard times and this person has been in a safe past life, when the couple experience like a breach, moral injury in the marriage, forgiveness is very easy. Forgiveness and moving on is way easier. But you see, those who are hard to move on, that person has been hurt before.
Yes.
And most times it's childhood trauma. Most times it's from the past. It's from you were a child. Your body knows that activation of pain before.
Yes.
And when we get to the tips, this is why something like healing your past wounds, because most mistrust, the inability to trust, guys, comes from your past. What is that favorite term that we like to use? Where is safety found?
Yes.
In the attachment bonds.
My God.
Safety is found in the attachment bonds. You wonder why it's hard to attach to people? You wonder why you take such a great offense to being hurt? Safety is in the attachment bonds. And you wonder why you hurt people? You wonder why you're hurting your spouse? Because this is not only about those who are facing a hard time to heal. We're humans. And if you breach my trust and I got married to you, it's not going to be easy. But let's flip that script. You wonder why you are hurting your spouse? Go back to where you practiced, saw, or witnessed that thing.
Yes.
Go back to that. Because remember we said traumatic experiences is not just what you did. It's also what you witnessed and what happened to you. What happened to you? Why now you are hypersensitive to giving trust and receiving trust.
Just to add to what you're saying, what happened to you doesn't necessarily means it's just based on past relationship.
Right.
You understand? It doesn't necessarily mean it's based on just past relationship. I've been in a countless of
Yeah.
boyfriend and girlfriend relationships, and then they cheat on me, and you
Yeah.
know, trust. Could be based on parents. You
Attachment.
understand? It could be based on friends.
Yep. Yep.
You understand? Because in every aspect of life, safety is important to us.
Absolutely.
Right? In every
Absolutely.
aspect of life, safety will love this human body here will
Yeah.
love to feel safe.
Yeah.
It's like a child. It's like nothing in this world. They grow up and they will run out and just do whatever it is
Yeah.
because they just feel safe. They just feel happy.
Yes.
So that inner
Innocence.
child, that inner child, craves that safety,
Yeah.
that safe space to be able to be free to express, to be able to, be free to just
Yeah.
roam around.
Yeah.
We have that inside.
Yeah.
The only difference with us is just that the age comes,
So the
and
blockages.
the gray
yeah.
hair and all of that. But there's always that young person inside that is craving safety.
Always.
And that is why a lot of persons, especially people that have gone through trauma, this,
Yes.
that, they always, especially those that love to attach themselves to people after
Yes. Yes.
one. They want that safety.
Yeah.
They want to be loved again. Like, show me, like
Yes.
this is what I'm missing.
Yes.
Can you give me this? You know? You understand?
Yeah.
And those are the persons, those are, I use the term dangerous because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, is whoever comes along.
Just feel.
You
yeah.
understand? Listen
Yeah.
how dangerous that is. Is whoever comes along.
Yeah.
So you can be the person that has been showing them with this, and as soon as, and listen, they will
Yeah.
tell you, oh, I love you.
Yes.
I love you, I love you. They love you because you are creating safety.
Yes.
But as soon as maybe something is said, something is this, they leave that place of safety that
Yeah.
they had, and they will cling to somebody else
Yeah.
that is giving them that they call it promiscuity, that is giving them that level of safety. So no feelings is no longer even. I'm talking about when I say feelings, I mean the love,
Emotions.
Yeah, it's no longer a thing. It's really who is giving me the safe space.
Right. Right.
Right? So that young person is crying out.
Yeah.
That young person inside is crying out, I need safety. I need this space of safety. So it doesn't necessarily have to be based on boyfriend
Yeah.
and girlfriend type of stuff. It's just all the different areas of your life.
Yeah.
Friendship, parental thing, once that is broken,
Yeah.
it's almost like, okay,
That wound is created.
that wound is created.
Absolutely. And that's broad. That is why trusting is so broad. Trusting a lot of times in relationships and marriages, a lot of things are ripple effects. They're not even the core. It's not even the core. It's a lot of ripple effects from what was done to us. Who hurt you? Like, go back to those questions. Who hurt me? Because, guys, it is not a lie. Based on stats, based on what studies have shown,
Yes.
many times, if you grew up in a safe, attached, securely attached relationship, when you are hurt in adulthood, you're not hung up on it like if somebody breached that trust pattern from you were a child.
Yes.
So
And also again, just to add again, it's very important, especially when it comes to our kids. We can provide, we can always
Yeah.
give them that safe space.
right.
It is very vital. Your children,
Teach
for
them
those,
trust.
yeah,
Yep.
you have to create that environment where they're feeling okay.
Yeah.
This is heaven, because it helps them to regulate,
Yeah.
and it helps them also, not to, you call it fight and flight mode in different areas of their lives growing up.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? The other thing that I wanted to mention is a lot of persons, especially in marriages, we hear as soon as infidelity comes in,
Right.
fail, marriage done.
Yeah.
You understand? That is why a lot of times I will talk about and say it's not infidelity the person create and whatever.
Yes.
I say that to say normally or on the regular basis,
Yeah.
once infidelity comes, it's like the hardest thing to get past.
Yeah.
It takes the grace of God to intervene in that marriage to
Absolutely.
help you get So
Oh
you
yeah.
can pretend, or you can say, okay, I forgive you.
Yeah.
But the bickering and the reminding and the back
Yeah.
and forth and why you can't do this and why, till it gets to that place where it's like, I can't bother with it.
Right.
The point I'm trying to say is that it is so important, guys, especially if you have never experienced that whole aspect of infidelity. We have to know how to communicate with our partner.
Yep.
We talk about healthy conflict resolutions. We talk about, creating safe space. We talk about,
Right.
saying I'm sorry. I'm talking about being patient with each other.
Yeah.
You understand? These different life skills help you in your journey. So
Right.
if, again, you say you can't trust nobody, you know, say you don't trust your spouse, but at the end of the day, you have to have a mindset that, listen, this person can fail.
Yes.
We're humans, this can happen. But when you, before we get to that place, God forbid,
Yeah.
we have to learn life skills. We have to learn how to, conflict resolutions, how to communicate, how to regulate each other.
Resilience.
How
Yeah.
to say I'm sorry, how to
Yep.
be patient with each other
Yep.
in different situations, not infidelity.
Right.
Like those different situations. So if those moments come, or that moment come where something big, it helps now, because we talk about patience.
Right.
We talk about long suffering.
Yeah.
We talk about being able to be vulnerable. It's one of the hardest thing when you hurt somebody that you love, and I'm talking about, whatever thing happens that you hurt that person. You talk about patience.
Yeah.
You talk about being accountable, especially for person that don't know what accountability looks like.
Yeah.
You understand? We're talking about transparency.
Yep.
You get what I'm saying? All these things are going to come into play, and a lot of men and a lot of women don't know these skills, or they don't possess
Right.
these relationship skills when it comes to communicate and understanding. Like, listen,
Right.
this is really going on, and this is needed at this moment.
Right.
This is needed, at these life skills, or
Yeah.
these communicating skills, the relationship skills is
Yeah.
needed in this moment. We can't expect we are going to do certain things and we expect the person is just going to get over it,
Right.
because
Right.
we just
right.
look at it
right.
as a wound, okay, a cut where bam,
Yeah.
and it healed. You get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It takes a different level of patience. It takes a
Maturity.
different level of compassion. It takes
Yeah.
a different level of maturity
Yeah.
in dealing with these situations. And again, that is why a lot of relationship fall along the wayside, because you
Yeah.
realize that, okay, we don't possess this.
Yes. Yeah.
We don't possess
Absolutely.
forgiveness. We don't
Yes.
possess this. We don't possess that.
Yeah.
And so the relationship crumble.
That's true.
You get what I'm saying? We expect this, we expect she should just bam, 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 bam. Because, we had a past girlfriend, or we had past relationship. It wasn't a marriage. And we're bringing the same mindset into this whole aspect of, okay, this is forever.
Yeah.
So it requires this to get past this.
Okay. So what I'm hearing you say is that as people, we must build the skills as an individual to actually learn how to communicate and be resilient and be patient and forgiving as an individual, so that when it's time for us as a couple to actually use, when we need to pull on those tools, we would have already been prepped as a person to actually back out this tool and say, all right, the need of this relationship right now is that it needs some forgiveness, or the need of this relationship right now is that it needs compassion, or it needs the skill of conflict resolution. And so trust doesn't get tied up into, oh, I can't trust you, because hey, we possess other traits to help to iron out the hills and the valleys. Oh my God, that is so important, guys. I love that perspective, because what that is showing is that sitting down and waiting on trust alone is not going to save your marriage. It absolutely. Hi, Jasmine Rose. Blessings, I'm driving right now, but your words are acting.
Okay.
Safe travel.
Safe travel. Be
And
careful on the road.
Yeah, we're happy that it's driving home. But it really shows them
Yes.
that there is trust is so deeper than what we think.
Yes.
And so many times we are waiting on the person who did us the wrongs to make us trust.
It's like faith without works.
Yes,
Amen,
Samantha.
Samantha.
It's like
Yes.
faith without works.
Yes.
So we're sitting there, we're saying, okay, I have faith, and I'm waiting on faith to bring forth what I had faith in it for. But then where is your work? And so it is twofold, like you said. Don't sit down and say, time is gonna heal my partner. Don't hide behind time. And the partner who is hurting, don't hide behind, oh, you need to make me trust you. Because there's more to be done. What are the skills that you have as an individual to create this journey for this trust to be had? And where is your decision to say, okay, you may not be showing me the things right now, but I choose to rely on you. I choose to rely on you. Because trust, we pin that question that says, is trust a feeling or a choice?
Yes.
And it's two ways. You should feel confident. You should feel like you can rely. But you should also make a choice to rely on the person. And they may not be perfect in the moment of reconciliation. And we're going to go into some of the things that you should look out for and the things that don't get confused with. If you're not seeing this, oh, I can't trust you. Debunk these things. Let them go. It's time to let them go.
I won't say I think, but the biggest revelation that I have gotten, as I always, talk about love and, it's a decision, it's a decision, it's a decision, is that every aspect, we talk about the fruit of the Spirit, we talk about all of these things that we put out, or all of these things that I've mentioned when it comes to the fruit of the Spirit, it's decisions.
Right.
Are you saying that because you believe that?
I believe it.
It's a decision.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with a feeling. It's a decision. I choose to love you
daily.
in the good times and in the bad times. It's a decision. And if you're going to take on somebody that you say forever, every aspect we talk about, how we operate in our marriage, it's a decision. It's both of us making the decision to love each other, to provide for each other, to speak into each other. It's a decision. Every aspect. Forgiveness is a decision.
Yeah.
You can
Feelings
choose to
follow.
No, feelings come,
Yeah, man. Feelings have to follow your decision.
As I said, feelings come. Feelings come in every aspect of what we're talking about. Even with our love, it's a feeling. It's an emotion. Emotions come, feelings come.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we can't trust these feelings. Because a person can be in your face doing all the wrong things, but the feeling says, I still love you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're doing everything that says, I don't love you.
Yeah.
But the feelings where you have, for whatever the reason is, because trauma can be in the midst.
Yeah. Yeah.
Trauma could be there that is triggering these type of feelings.
Right.
You follow what I'm
reward.
saying?
False reward.
This false, You understand? What is it that is going on in your brain that even though this person has a dagger to say, listen, I will hurt you.
Right.
I love you.
Yeah.
I love you. I love you. I love you.
And you see the link to, and I'm here looking at it through the lens of science, where you see the link to the past and how the attachment bonds set us up for something activated a reward system. Something taught us that a reward is found in falsehood. Something taught us that a reward is found in thinking that people are perfect. And so I should put my heart in the hands of this person to always have my back. Something taught us that. So when these things teach us that, we kind of skew over. No. These are daily choices that we must get up and make.
Yes.
Because sometimes we're not going to be rewarded. And that's the trick of the brain. Your brain can play tricks on you, because when you feel a nice feeling, we say, oh, this is the right decision.
Yes. Meet the person today and oh my God, this feeling with us
false reward system.
This is love. This is love. You cannot trust your feelings and your emotions. I say this all the time. A person says something nice to you, you feel good. a person hold your hand, you feel good.
Yeah.
There's a feeling that
Comes
comes.
with it.
So we have to understand these are emotions, these are normal. These are part of human biology.
Yeah.
You know, this happens, you feel the emotions of it.
Yeah.
But what is the reality?
Right, 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 right.
You get what I'm saying? So that is why I said,
Show me the proof.
that's why the Bible said, no greater than love than this that a man should lay down is like an action.
Right.
And
Right.
everything that you look at in the Bible is pretty much an action.
Action.
You have
Act.
to action, forgiveness, action. You get what I'm saying?
Faith. Act.
Faith. Them say faith without works is dead.
Self-control.
So even
You
though
feeling
you
that?
have the faith, if you don't move towards it, a ways, oh Lord, I have faith in you. But at the end of the day, when this
Show
come,
me.
you're not. Him say, go left. Boy, I have faith in you, Lord.
Faith gonna move me.
Yes, Lord, the faith is
Yes.
just high.
Yeah.
But you don't want to move.
Prove it.
So what we fail to realize that everything in the Bible, every aspect of love, every aspect of this, it's about a movement. It's about a decision. It's about, you get what I'm saying?
I get
It's
it.
based on a decision. The feeling is like a byproduct. The feeling is a byproduct. The
Yeah.
feeling of love is a byproduct. You get what I'm saying? You're with somebody, you know, they're doing this, they're doing that, and they make you feel good. They make you feel special based on what they are doing.
Yeah. How they choose to serve you.
You
How
get
they
what I'm
choose
saying?
To love you.
So it's still an action based on what they're doing. You know, just love the person. You see the person, oh, I just love him.
Just feel nice.
They have to be doing something for you to get the emotions and the feeling running all over your body. And oh my God, I'm in love.
The response. Absolutely. In that case, would you say you have to earn trust or you have to give trust?
Why? Guys,
I'm not targeting you.
all these questions wasn't planned.
But I'm sure they want to hear, like,
Guys, none of these questions.
like the live,
like
guys. Come on, guys. Like the live.
Please.
Share the live. Share and like.
Guys, when you like the live, it helps to push the video out.
Yep.
So please, you know, just as you come on, sometimes you just click the like. So persons out there.
Yeah.
We won't see who like it. We can't see who like it. I promise you, so you don't have to hide. We just like the live. It helps to push the video out. That's it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, guys? So that's why we ask.
Yeah.
So you say what's the question again?
Do you think then that love trust? Do you give trust or do you earn trust?
Do you give trust or you are?
Should people be earning
yes,
or
yes.
trust, or should we give trust to our partners or spouse?
Yeah, trust is earned.
So is it's only earned?
No.
Or-
I'm just saying.
Okay.
No, you have to. It's something that you have to earn. You have to show me that I can trust you. The same thing that we went back and we mentioned. You know, you give me this. You are creating a safe space for me to
Okay.
trust you.
Okay. So in
Right.
in a marriage, would you say which one would you put first? Give trust or earn trust?
In a marriage. Well, for before we get to marriage, there has to be.
No, after we're married.
No.
So we're married. We're married now.
Yeah.
Am I giving you my trust, or are you supposed to be earning my trust?
I think it's both. I think it's
Okay.
it's both, because again, and you know you mentioned it a couple lives ago, like you said what I said. Don't feel like because you're married and you love.
Thank you for liking.
Thank you for liking, guys. We appreciate it. Missionary work, you know, we're on the mission,
You too.
right? You know, like you know, I always say, not because you're married to the person means that you're just going to sit back and say, "Oh, we're married."
Yeah.
It's an everyday decision, proving to the person to say, "Listen, I value you." Because once you stop doing things in that marriage, the person is going to start wondering, like,
Right.
what is really going on? I realize you stopped doing this. I realize you stopped doing that.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So that is important. You have to earn the person's trust. You have to earn. We might not look at it that way, because you know we are in love and we are married now and we're going a couple years and we know we've been through the rocky road. But at the same time, psychologically, we're looking at these things to help to provide safety. what you're doing. You know, when I said to you, babe, where you going? You can't say to me, say, may I go down on the field, man. And I can feel comfortable that, you know,
So
may I go to the field.
So hold on. So when we get married now, so based on, so when we get married, all right, man and wife, we say, all right, I don't trust you, and I don't trust you either, husband. So now we're gonna work to earn each other's trust.
Yes.
So basically, that's what you think. You come into the marriage and you say, I don't trust you, I don't trust you,
Yes.
but we're now gonna work towards trusting.
Yes.
You believe that?
Definitely.
Guys, you believe that?
No, definitely. Because look
Guys,
at
you
it.
believe
Listen,
that?
listen what I say. Listen why I say that. If we are now married, because as I said, trust has to be built before we say it, because that's a big decision, right?
Right.
Putting on the ring and I want to spend my life with you, right?
So you're married.
So we're married. Okay, how did we get here? Trust. There had to be something that broke that trust. If you, but that message that don't make no sense if you're gonna ask me that then. Look, again, let me repeat.
Okay, go on again.
We meet each other. We know I create that safe space. We create that safe space
Yeah.
for each other. Going months. Hey, you know, some more I'm married to you, baby. I say,
Mom
yeah, man.
entrepreneur. Then no. Hi.
She said no, like no. Okay.
Oh yeah, I see. I come and say no. All right, go on. Explain.
Okay. All right. So this is my point of view, guys. So we get married. What is the the reason why we get married? Because I trust you. I want to spend the rest of my life with you, right? Then we get to a place where you're saying I don't trust you, and you have to ask realistic questions, right? I don't trust you, and you don't trust me. The first thing I gotta ask you, how did we get here?
Right. So no.
Did I do something wrong for you to?
But that's not the question. I'm asking you: is it that man and wife are here and we're saying, I don't trust you, I don't trust you? So that was a question. Maybe maybe you misinterpreted what I'm saying.
What do you
So
say?
I'm saying, is it that we're starting marriage and saying, I don't trust you, I don't trust you, but now that we're married, we're going to be working towards trust? Or is it we are starting out and we're giving each other our trust, and along the way we're building and creating a stronger bond in it?
Yeah, definitely. Like real, yeah. If we're talking about real life situations, so I said to you again, trust starts before creating a safe space for each other. Then we get into marriage. So if the trust is broken on each...
No, man, we never talk about the broken trust. I think that's where you got thrown out.
Yeah, because you say we in marriage and you say I don't trust you and you don't trust me.
No, because you say when you get married, we don't trust each other. We just are going to start out building trust.
No, I never said that, baby.
That's what you said. That's why I just said no.
No, because of what you said. That's why I said to you, trust has to be there before you get married. Guys, I know you're here when I said that,
So
right?
let's clarify. Let me run the question again, because maybe how I asked it posed that confusion. So, in a marriage, are we waiting until each other prove ourselves to trust each other? Or is it that we're supposed to be giving each other our trust? And day by day, we are building on this.
Yeah, that's
it
what.
Gets
Yeah,
stronger.
that's why I said to you, nobody gets into a marriage, or it's not. You will be out of your mind to get into a marriage. And
so you're saying yours go from even before the marriage?
Yeah,
okay.
Trust starts before the marriage. I meet you, we're fresh off the jet. I meet you, this, that. I create a safe space. We create a safe space for each other. Then we decide to get married. And then we continue that safe space. We continue
so we're building
until
on
it's
it.
broken.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So you're saying the marriage is the practice ground to build this up. To build this up.
We keep doing what we started. You
okay.
know, we continue the same path. That's why I said to you, it's a day-to-day. Maybe just misunderstanding. We're back on the same page now. Yeah, that was a misunderstanding. That's why I said to you, nobody gets.
And I'm strong with it, TC. But yes.
No, because it's real. That's why I said. That's why I went back and I said to you.
Yeah, I see what you're saying now.
Every
You're
day
saying
is a continuous proving to the person that listen, babe, you're safe with me.
Right, so he's saying, okay, so the marriage is the display ground then. This is the field, okay? Where manifest all the things. Well, not manifest like that, guys, but we're showing, we're expressing that, hey, I trust you, I chose to get with you, let's do this thing. All right, so when trust is broken, let's talk about that a little bit. When trust is broken, it really astonishes me to see that when trust is broken in a relationship, you know, one of the first things that people start do, apart from the insecurity that is breathed in this marriage, no. Because if me don't trust you and you do something to hurt me, first of all, I start feel insecure.
Yes.
And I like to say, guys, this is something that we like to say. I like to say is that if I am betrayed, in my eyes, I did not think number one status would go for me anymore. And that can be that could be a false version. I hear a lot of wives say that as well. That if their spouse breaks their heart, then they don't feel like they are worthy to be considered number
Number
one.
one,
So
yes.
that insecurity, that level of insecurity is there, right?
Yeah, yes.
That's a big one. But you know what shuts down too? I realize, and I never used to think about this until I started watching the patterns of even like couples counseling and coaching sessions. I start to realize how communication start to dwindle.
Yes.
You know, before when there was a stage of innocence,
Yes, get to
there
know
was an
each other.
abundance of communication. Guys, if you're having trust problem in your marriage now, look at your communication pattern. You're going to realize that, oh my God, I start reserving some information to myself. I keep some things to myself. I'm not the open, free flowing person like I used to be. I'm kind of like holding back a little thing for myself, or I keep this information for bestie, or I keep this information for my sister or somebody else. But most of your information not going to your spouse if they had hurt you. So look out for that. Maybe you didn't realize that in your relationship, but communication starts to go on the dim.
Yes.
It starts to drop. And then the other one is your emotional expression is no, most of the times you're in your head. Another impact of trust being broken in a marriage, in a relationship, is that that person, especially for females, especially during intimacy, a lot of times we're in the head. We're in
Yes.
our head. We cannot come down in the body. And this is also a secret that I teach in couples counseling, where most times to get out of your head, you have to begin to do a certain thing. You have to begin to position yourself a certain way so that you can get out of the head game and get into the body game. Because that is showing there is some amount of restriction with trust in your partner, towards your partner. And so these are what we call in counseling safety behaviors.
Yes.
Safety behaviors. Your brain and your body they're doing something to keep you safe. And that's why you stop talking to your spouse like how you used to talk to them. That is why you stop confiding all of you. You don't give all of you anymore. You keep back a little something, something for yourself. So these are the safety behaviors. You're doing things that you think will keep you from harm.
Yes.
Safety behaviors. Another thing that starts to happen is that everything becomes
Yes.
suspect. Every little movement, everything that is said, everything that is done, you start to scrutinize. You start to overanalyze. You start to overthink. And you have all good reasons, you know.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
It's appropriate. These are appropriate responses to being hurt. So you're over analyzing. You're guarded. The guards are high.
Yes.
And so because of that, whether good or bad, whatever your spouse doing, you start to look through it. Wonder why I'm going so. Wonder why she a babe. So why she smiling all of a sudden? Why she come tell me that she love me today? Why? I wonder if she go somewhere. I wonder if, like all of these, I wonder if. We talked about this one, the negativity bias of the brain. The brain becomes overactivated in choosing to remember the bad. And sometimes you want to say, oh, but me just get a nice anniversary gift. Or him just buy me, or she just gave me, or throw me this nice birthday get together. Or she bought me a gift, or he bought me a gift. He just gave me a hug. He sent me a text message. But guess what? Your brain does not gravitate to the positive.
Yes.
And so many of you, especially wives, you're struggling with thinking that, oh, I just can't move on. Because even when he's doing something good, or even when she's doing something good, I just can't move past it.
Yes.
A lot of it is psychological and mental. Why? Because your brain has a negativity bias. And this is one of the freeing things, especially with counseling, that you begin to realize why you are doing the things you're doing. It's not just because you're a bad wife, you're a bad husband, you don't want to let go things, you're just easily annoyed,
Yeah.
or oh, it's a typical thing. Wives just always annoying and them don't like to forgive. No, it's really a legit brain function why you are consistently thinking about it.
Definitely.
So let that free you up tonight and have some compassion for yourself. You're overthinking, overanalyzing, everything look funny to you and suspect. It's a reaction after being hurt. It's a legit response. It's called a traumatic response to what has happened to you. So give yourself a hug tonight and just know that you are not to be blamed. It's a real reaction. All right, the next one is you start to see life and love through the lens of injury. You are seeing life, you're seeing loving through the lens of pain. You hear through pain. You see through pain. Sometimes also we say, he would say something and I would say, like, why you say that? Or why you never met so and so? You would be like, oh, you're hearing through pain or you see through pain. That expression is through pain. But yeah, a lot of times we see through pain, we hear through pain. And somebody may say, hey, and we hear, hey. Because we hear things differently when we are hurt. We see things differently when we've been hurt. We think about things differently because to us, all of our life is centered around the incident.
Yes.
And as a trauma expert or a specialist or whatever they call me,
Trauma boss.
whatever they want to term me as somebody who works in this field, one of the hardest things that I have to do, one of the hardest things that people in this area has to do is to teach people how to separate themselves from the thing that happened. It's like magnet. It is hard to separate or help somebody to separate the soul's attachment from the moral injury. It's extremely hard to let them see that you are a different person from the thing that happened.
Yes.
The incident is not you. You being hurt is not you are hurt. You're not damaged. You are not broken. You have experienced brokenness. But you are still valuable. And it doesn't matter even whatever the state of the experience you've had. So the next one is we see things differently. The other one that I want you to think about, when you have experienced trust being broken in your marriage, your relationship, look out for physical distress.
Yes.
It's not just in the emotions and the mental and the psychological. There is a model that we tend to follow, the biopsychosocial or social. The body gets affected too. I know people that when they are in relationships that it breeds mistrust. The person is primed for tension. The person actually not breathing well and didn't realize. It's until I would say, okay, we're going to practice breath work. Let's say we're doing breath work and the person does something like this. Is that they're just catching their breath. I've seen people who are breathing and start crying just by trying to inhale. Teach your body how to house your spirit and your soul.
Yes.
In regulation. They start crying because trusting or the mistrust that they have experienced have really tend or caused the stress levels to rise. And when that is increasing in the body, what start happening? Guilt, anxiety, strain, shame, regret, anger, what else? Heartbreak, depression, sadness, and then these things are leading to illnesses,
Yes.
body aches, pain, headache, irritable bowel syndromes, and we could go on and on and on.
Anemic.
Yeah, listen, I don't want to say some of the things online because even the other day I did a presentation on the impact of trauma. Some people feel like it's just the heavy stuff, the heavy duty stuff, like an interpersonal violation, like molestation and those things that cause the body to go through physical distress. But it's not so. Things like mistrust, like somebody tearing or trust, ripping the trust. disappointment, brokenness, heartbreak in the marriage, rejection, abandonment, betrayal. Betrayal feels like death. And you know what is even harder? Because that death, the person's still walking around living.
You're living it every day.
Yeah, there's no closure. It's not like real death where they are sent on their merry way. They're still here. You have to face them. You have to talk to them. You have to be beside them. Some of you, you still have to sleep in the same bed. You still have to communicate about children. You are facing this emotional injury, this emotional death over and over and over and over until the good Lord sends you help. So it's hard. Anything you want to share before we go to, okay, how do we help people to build back trust in the relationship?
Oh no, go into that.
Go into it. All right. So it's getting late, so we're just going to quickly list them and not do too much explaining. So number one, the first thing is to realize that you need to take time. When you're rebuilding trust, take time and process. It's a process. But do not hide behind time.
Yes.
Do the work. The person who caused the breach in the relationship, don't hide behind time and say, oh, my partner, in time, we're going to forget this and get over it. Don't hide behind time. Do the work. Do the work. And the person who was abused emotionally, that trust was broken, you also have work to do. You also have work to do. The next one is to realize that the negative thoughts are going to come.
Yes.
But they will be appropriate. However, learn how to separate your thoughts from yourself. You are not your thoughts, and your thoughts are not you. You are not your thoughts. So number 3 is open and honest, abundant communication. If you want to rebuild trust in your marriage, learn to talk about everything. Trust don't start from, oh, let me see your phone.
Yes.
Oh, video call me so I can see if
Yes,
you're
yes.
where you say you're going to be. Oh, I need proof. Trust doesn't start there. Trust starts, first of all, in the decision that I'm going to rely on you. Okay, we made a we get to a bump in the road. I'm crying, I'm giving myself time to hurt, but at the same time, okay, I'm going to make the hard decision to rely on you. Because the marriage have to go on. We want the marriage to work. We're not done. I'm not feeling in my spirit. God is not saying this is over. So I'm going to continue with you. I'm going to rely on you. No, don't say, give me a phone. Don't say, where are you going? I need to come with you. No, I'm watching you. I'm going to sit right here and watch you. That's not the next step. Don't jump stages. The next step is begin to speak about everything. Begin to talk about everything. There is a segment, even again in couples counseling, where it's called the atonement. There's that section where, we give the space for a certain thing, right? So that is important. The next one is, so again, abundant communication. Trust is broad. And it's not just because, infidelity. Even in the little things, talk about everything. Next one is expect hurtful inquiries. What do we mean by that? For the person who did the thing, you can't wrong and strong. You can't do the thing and then come and say, oh, don't ask me that. I don't want to talk about that. I'm tired. No, I don't feel like going into that. You have to be open to hear the hard questions. You have to be open to say, okay, I know I did this. Shoot away.
Yes.
Not literally, no, but ask me the questions. You must be willing to do your wrong and own up to your dirt. You must be willing to take it. And even when it hurts, you did it. You tore it. You did that. So to repair the breach, you have to allow the space. The next one is take responsibility and show remorse. If you want your partner to trust you again, you better show some remorse. You can't be happy-go-lucky and you walk around and you say, oh, but I experience my pain and I express my pain differently.
Yes.
You better show some remorse. And I know it's true. Not everybody go through the same expressions when you're hurting, but you better show some remorse. Even if you're going to use words for the first few expressions, I am really, really sorry. I am absolutely sorry. Every day it plays on my mind. I know I hurt you. I am so sorry. You must express remorse.
Yep.
Nobody saying if you bawl every day, but you must express remorse.
And check in.
Yep, and check in. We're going to get to that. So you must take accountability. You must show responsibility. The next one is, you mentioned this, and I was so glad you did. Work through. Work through. Get the things that were built in the marriage toolbox. Guys, that is why it's important to go to things like seminars, counseling, book a schedule, a call with a coach or a counselor and say, hey, we want to improve our skills or tools in the toolbox. Hey Jasmine,
Thank you,
hey again.
Jasmine.
We want to increase the tools in the toolbox. Why? Because when it's time for things to come, like tearing in the trust, a breach in the trust, guess what? We know what to back out. All right, conflict resolution time. Let's go. Let's go. So work through. Not call it quits and say, oh, this happened? Boy, I'm done with you. Or girl, you can't come back here. Work through. That would mean you're not going to use the past as ammunition.
Yes.
And I know that especially as wives, we have our little black books. We don't let go nothing. My phone used to be filled. My husband he used to say, tell me one good thing that I did 10 years ago. And sometimes I couldn't remember. Him say, all right, tell me something bad me did 5 years ago. All right, I'm ready. Like, come. Scrolling through the phone. Because I have my nice little page when I set up at the top. I forgot. I don't remember what I used to write up there. But I used to write one nice little heading and say, like, things done against me. Or something like that. And I would have my book where I used to journal and me get my little pen. And guys, it's when me I write, me I'll stab up the book. I used to write and just dash across the page. And I said, okay, a year later, I want to remember that I was angry. I want to remember that I was really upset. So I used to put some exclamation. And I would sometimes I'll tear up the page because I want to know somebody well vexed. But then, years ago, my daughter got my phone, right? My daughter found the phone and she was going through some old message. She was like, oh, grandma, mommy said. She started saying, she was like so shocked, huh? Grandma, and then she said to my mom, mom, grandma, mommy said that. And she said the word, what word did she say? And she read it out. And grandma said, oh, leave your mommy phone alone. Maybe she's just, I think she said, mommy said the word divorce or something like that. Mommy said divorce. And that spoke to me so greatly.
Yes.
The Lord really spoke to me in that moment. He said, if you really forgive, if you are really willing to work through your marriage, delete everyone. And so that was how I went back in my phone, my little nice little note section, my little virtual black book, and I start to delete. I start to pull them out because I now realized if I am going to trust, I'm not waiting for you. I am saying in the moment, with the dirt, with the this, with the that, I choose to rely on you. I am staying, I am in. You're already a stay. You're already in the marriage. You're already there. So why be there and torture yourself?
Yes.
Make a decision and you and your spouse begin to talk in abundance. Hey, we're right here. We need to get to this point. Let's see how we're going to chart our path to get there.
And what happened with those, a lot of those things that you might have written down, it's like you're stuck at that same place.
You're stuck at the spot.
You understand? You're stuck at that same place. Even if you decide, okay, whatever, like, it's good to have a clean slate
Yeah.
where you're not having a visual, or the mental will be there, because
Yeah.
you might go back and go back and go back. But at the same time, once you have that written down, that you're visible, you're able to see visually,
Yeah.
you're going to be stuck right at
You
that
get
place.
right back, pulled back in. That's true.
The memories from 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago will
Yeah.
keep just rolling over, because you haven't
Yeah.
let go of that aspect. Of
Yes.
that aspect,
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
point. The next one then in line with that is shed secrecy. Number 7 is shed secrecy. People, you cannot expect to build trust and you still a tell the lie them. You're still holding back from your spouse. Shed secrecy. I remember saying to a couple, if you do something, especially let's say like infidelity, your spouse taking you back is not a right. It's a privilege.
Yes.
Shared secrecy. We're talking about things like when they ask you questions and you're giving them half of an answer. When they are asking you for details and you're telling them 1 out of 5. When you have a cell phone and it's well locked up. Shed secrecy, because you could be doing the world of good. You could really just have peer Bible study in your phone. You could really not be doing anything wrong. You really could be the best Jesus son or Jesus daughter. But guess what? You have a lock code. You think your spouse is going to trust you? If you want to rebuild trust, you must be transparent and shed the secrecy. Let it go. It's no open book. Your life is an open book. Two become one. When two become one. And so number 8 is bond on a deeper level.
Before you get to number 8, guys, if you're if you're in a marriage, that's why boundaries are so important.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Boundaries are very important. We talk about you know, talking about this and talking about that. Verbal communication is not always gonna help. You
Yeah.
understand? Sometimes we, especially in these moments, we need written agreements.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need written agreements. But to add to that, or to go back to what I was saying, you're in a marriage and your partner finds it so easy to have a lock code that you don't know nothing about. That is serious.
Very serious.
And I know how men are, sometimes we will paint a picture, oh, this privacy is a part of my thing,
Yeah.
and you don't,
Feel violated.
yeah, you don't, I don't like people searching my phone. But you're talking about a marriage where, it's expected to be an open book.
Yeah. One.
You get what I'm saying? It should be an
One
open
book.
book, like. And if you do have a lock code, let's say you're having a lock code for the kids not
Right.
to go in your phone. You understand? But your partner should at least know that lock code.
Yep.
Your partner should know every lock code, every bank account
Yeah.
pin. Like, there should be no secrecy. If you're going to keep that away from your partner, that is definitely a
Yeah.
pass red flag.
And even if you're not doing anything, you're setting up yourself and your marriage. You're sabotaging your marriage.
It should not be at a place, no, you're saying, give me your phone or let me see whatever it is, and lock code is on the phone when you're way in your marriage. That don't make no sense.
No, guys.
It should be open. Your life should be an open book. You get to there where you say, listen, we're dating, we're exclusive, we're looking to get married, or we get married, and we're
Yeah.
that level of transparency is supposed to be there.
Yep. That's unacceptable.
That should be set. That should be there.
Yeah.
Because again, as I said, boundaries. Learn to set boundaries. Both person having that conversation,
Yeah.
or whether it one conversation are written down, we should know that, listen, this is how we operate in our marriage. It shouldn't be when problems
Yeah.
come, all of a sudden, this is what it is,
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is what it is.
yeah.
Like, what was happening before?
Yeah.
Do you allow your
yeah.
partner to actually have a lock code on their phone and just be free, just
Yeah,
going
man.
around
Not
like,
not accept them something.
you get what I'm saying? Like, you were just
Yeah.
cool with that.
Right. And that's why the marriage have to have non-negotiables. Your marriage must have some core values. You see, like how you have core values, ladies, and you have core values, men. The marriage as a unit must have core values. What we mean by that? Things like, okay, this marriage we're not going to do without faithfulness. This marriage we're not going to do without openness and transparency. This marriage we can't do without faith. Those are some of our core values. Like, God have to be a part of the marriage. If you not saying God and I am saying God, I'm sorry, I can't be with you from the initial stage. So what he's saying is what's happening from the initial stage. And I know not every marriage is going to start off on the right foot. But as you get into marriage and now you're learning new things, yes, initially, and now you're learning as you go along, let's have the conversation. Okay, what are some of the things that we want to establish as our core values that we not live without, Samantha? Because you know, one time there was a couple who said to me, the man said to me, Shanice, I never know she think that was cheating. The husband said to me, I never know that she think that was cheating. Like, we've never talked about that. But you're grown. How do you not know that that is considered unfaithfulness? So don't take anything for granted. Talk about it. This is not accepted in our marriage.
Yes.
It's a no-no. All right. So build a deeper bond. When you're learning to rebuild trust, you're gonna move from just okay, the conversation is good, but also now you're going to be vulnerable with this person. Tell them the things that make you feel foolish, make you feel weak, make you feel sad, make you feel happy. That was something that I struggle with, and I still don't get it all the way perfect because I am used to independence. I am used to not depending on anybody because I didn't grow with a dad. So because of that, a male and a husband now in my life, I still carry a lot of my emotional weight and my thoughts. It's not that he's not open. He's very open, but as women sometimes, especially those who don't grow up with daddies and we have parent wounds, and now a man come in the picture, it's hard to say, all right, carry me. It's not easy. So vulnerability is something that we all have to keep learning. We all have to keep practicing, especially when you are married. Independence doesn't work in a marriage. That's what I realized. The splitting away, or you do this, your money, you do this, my money, you over there, some me, it doesn't really breathe a safe relationship. So vulnerability is a different level of bonding. And I know some of your skin is kind of crawling to say, oh, I can't imagine being that way with my spouse ever again. Not after what he did or what she did to me. But if this is going to go further, you make a decision, you're still there, might as well you make the best use out of it. The Lord said forgive 70 times 7, you make the decision to stay, do it the right way. Don't stay in torment and misery. Do it the right way. Stay in the right way. Stay in the right way. The next one is add structure and understanding to your marriage.
Yes.
If you're rebuilding your marriage, add some structure, guys. Set, like you said, some times to check in with each other. Last year this happened. It nearly mashed up the relationship. How have you moved forward with this situation? Ask the question. Last 5 years you did this, wifey. This is how I am moving on with this, or I'm not moving on, to be honest. Hubby, last year you did this. I still have not gone over it. Or if you are the one who did the thing, boy, babe, say, I know I did this. You get better, you feel better, even if you don't know all the psychological terms. But check. Ask. Let's go on a walk. Let's look at how we've grown or is not growing. Iron out your expectations. Talk about the things. Okay, no phone call after 9 o'clock. Okay, no family members on a Christmas. This is now our day. Make new structures.
Yes.
Build up your thing. It's your marriage. It's your marriage. And then understanding this one is where, okay, now that you've decided to stay, stop projecting. If you say you're staying and you're working things out, because sometimes the person may not be guilty of what you think they're guilty of. But because you think so, you project. So now you're going to have to learn the person you're with. This is something you always talk about, Learn your man. Learn your woman. Learn the person. Spend time to zone in, not what your family members telling you about him, not what you feel about him. Learn the person so you're not erroneously putting things on them. Learn your spouse. The next one is give space and opportunity to grow. This is a very big one that a lot of persons, because they've been hurt by their partners, them shut down every growth.
Yes.
And it's understandable and it's okay. But after a while, you have to say, okay, to be fair, if he or she is going to grow, I have to give the space. Remember what we talked about. Trust is a feeling and it's a choice.
Yes.
Choose to rely back on your spouse. And if you choose it, now you're going to have to give space for trial and error. They're not going to get everything perfect, even though they're rebuilding the trust. Sometimes they're going to mess up again. You have to know, manage your expectation. You can't say, oh, because you hurt me, if you ever hurt me again, yes, that's true. They should not do it again. But what if they do? Let's say they disappoint you in another way. So you have to manage the expectation. If I'm staying, I'm going to allow room for, and not saying you're allowing bad practice, but guess what? You must give space for trial and error.
Yes.
Space to repent, space to forgive. Must give space. Must give space. Learn each other. Number 11, be open to try again. If you're gonna rebuild trust, you can't approach trust in fear. You can't fear. Your body will never connect, and this is a biological fact. You will never connect to anything you fear, you hate, you judge.
Yes.
You're not going to connect. So that is why when we say be open to try, trust is about making the decision to rely on. Just as though it's a feeling. It's two-way. So be open to try each day. Forgive daily. Even if there is future disappointments,
Yes.
deal with that when it comes. But for now, right now, Lord, I am willing to try. You know why you must be willing and open? You see, when the little hard times come up again in your marriage, guess what? You are building resilience.
Yes. Muscles.
You're building emotional muscles. You're now comfortable with hearing no, or I can't, or you know that this is not going to work out like you want it to. You won't be so hypersensitive to trust issues because, oh my God, you disappointed me last year, this year, I don't want to hear it. The marriage is done. I'm over with this. You have grown and you've matured and you now know how to resolve conflict. Hey, yes, you're late. Catch on. But you now know how to resolve conflict. So be open to try again. Building trust is not just sitting down and say, hey, I'm waiting on you to show me how to trust. Remember, it's twofold. You are feeling the confidence and you're saying, hey, I can rely on you. And also, I am giving myself permission to say, I am going to rely on you. That is trust. That is the real truth about trust. The ability to decide to rely. Choose to rely. All right, so you can't fear when you're loving. You can't fear when you choose to stay. You're dead there and you're staying. Choose to love. Choose to love. Build tolerance. Build resistance. Give people a chance to succeed. And that is why, they'll say in counseling, praise the little growth. Praise the growth here and there. Because the truth is, what you hear and see scare you. That's the truth. What you hear and what you're seeing, it's going to scare you. And it has scared you. And that's why the trust is a problem. You're scared. But again, this is the second to last one. We have two more. This is why this one is linked into it. Trusting God is one of the biggest glues to be rebuilding trust. Because let me tell you why. This is not just trust God for everything. It's more than that. When God says in your spirit, when your spirit says, you saw this, you heard this, but my will is, you are going to grow through this. That relinquishes every fear. And even if you're still afraid, you're going and you're trembling and you say, oh God, may I go through this? Because guess what? I value your voice over everybody else's voice. When you see and when you hear the error and the moral injury and you're feeling it, your spirit is saying, come on, girl, you can do this. Come on, young man, you can do this. The Holy Spirit is saying, I got you. I have you. The Spirit reveals all truth. He reveals all truth. And so he gives you the ability to keep going. Because rebuilding again is, I feel the confidence, but I'm also making a decision to say, hey, I'm going to trust you. Sometimes you won't see the things you want to see, the proof. Hey, face call. We call it face call me or video call me, FaceTime me. You're not going to always get that. But do you choose to trust? And then after that, you have to cultivate, and for this is for those who have done the thing, you better make sure you're proving. Because a part of it is, yes, the person who has forgiven you must decide to rely, but you have to say, okay, this is now a privilege, not a right.
Yes.
I have to live my days proving. I have to live my days proving. How do you expect people to use feelings to take your word? Show me the proof.
Yes.
Show me that you're reliable. Trusting has a track record. Trusting has a track record. Why you trust God? Why do you trust God? Because trusting God comes with a track record. And now people say, oh, hey, if God doesn't come through for me right now, I know the confidence is that is either him saying not no, wait, or no. And even in the no, look at how that is funny. Even in no, if God said no, you still feel happy and you want to pray again next week. And if you feel a little low today, you're saying, oh, God knows what's best for me. You know why you say that? Because you trust him. His track records have already proven you can trust him. So it's twofold. We asked the question earlier, is trust a choice or a feeling? People, it is twofold. You're going to feel the confidence and you must decide to. Those who are hurting, you must decide. And those who have hurt your spouse, you must do the work.
Yes.
Don't hide behind time. Time not going to heal no wound if time just sit down there by itself alone. You must be working while you have time. Work during the time. And the last one for tonight is, if you are in the situation and you are having trust problems, there are some wounds that you need to heal. We talked about this before. You have wounds that you need to heal. Statistics show that many trust problems in marriage did not come from the marriage. It came from what you brought into the marriage. Attachment bonds. That is why it is easy to be hung up on what was done to you that was wrong in your marriage. It is coming from childhood. Your body knows it. Your body knows it. And so you may have somebody who is trying. You have somebody who really trying. But guess what? You can't see it. And you can't feel it. And you can't hear it. Because the wounds are not necessarily from what they did. They are there before what he did or what she did. Your unhealed wounds are still speaking. And the truth is, a lot of times it's louder than the crime committed against you. So, if you did not remember what we said, go and catch a replay. Go and like and subscribe to your Anthony's channel, Journey to Man. Search for his name, Anthony Bogle. He will be touching on many of these topics. Go over to that channel, go like that channel. And the seminar, if you are in Jamaica, like we said earlier, this is why it's important to invest in your marriage. For those who are courting, you're dating, you want somebody, go invest in becoming a wife and a husband before you are actually there. And if you're married, it's not too late to start. Go invest in your marriage. Sign up for the seminar. It's May 31st from 10 o'clock to 3 p.m. under the theme From Hurt to Healing. Navigating emotional wounds and not navigating, pursuing emotional wellness in singleness, divorce, and marriage. And the link will be posted in the chat. You want to talk about your channel for some more and then post the link in the chat?
Talk about my channel.
Yes, that's it for me, guys. I'm going to post the seminar in the chat. If not, you can actually go to the community post and you will see where we posted the information about the seminar and all the things.
Amen.
Amen. Close us out.
Thank you for that. Guys, blessings to you all. Blessings to you all. You know, God likened marriage as his relationship to the church, you know. We have to understand, only he's the only one that is perfect. You know, we see us as the church, we see how we treat him a lot of times. We lie, we sin with this, with that, but he still forgives us.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It's the same thing with us in this type of marriage. We're going to have trials, we're going to have different things, But he's saying, listen, can't forgive? Forgiveness is one of the biggest things in this walk. Even if it's not our spouse, we have to learn to forgive. Him said, listen, even give me your greatest enemy. Those who use you and abuse you, you have to forgive. We have to forgive. And so we have to learn these tools. We have to cultivate these tools in us as especially as children of God. We have to have it. We have to possess it. And these tools are not just based on, because a lot of times is when reality hits, A lot of times we find ourselves in some situation where no, we need the tools.
Right.
Forgiveness for this, that, long suffering, patience, this, that. We can't find it. We're talking about the fruit of the Spirit. We can't find it.
Yeah.
But remember, we are children of God. We're a child of God. So we have to cultivate these tools. So when we get into marriage and certain things come up, it doesn't have to be infidelity, but I'm saying different things. We're going to face different challenges that's going to require these things.
Yep.
And for those that are already married, I'll say it and I will say it again. A lot of times we wait until we get to the roadblock. We wait until certain things happen. Then we are scrambling and read book and we are do this.
Right.
We have to do these things before.
Yes.
In the good time, when there's no rain, make sure say you plow, you dig for this, and
that's good.
You're preparing. Yeah. Ever preparing, ever learning. Because I always say that a lot of times, especially wives, we have they say, women have intuition, the women intuition. But a lot of times you realize the women intuition only comes up when there's conflict, when there's issues in the relationship. We would like the intuition to come up in the moments when there's no, the husband might feel some type of way. Your intuition can say, so feel some type of way.
Yeah.
And you know how to approach it. Let not the intuition only pops up and you're now matlock, you're now doing things that you have never done.
It's true.
You understand, you're now a detective. You possess detective skills that you've never thought you had, but because of the situation that arise, you're now this type of person. Be that person before. And that's why I said, learn to, micromanage your relationship. And the micromanage that I'm talking about, it doesn't mean that you're just hot the person, like you want to know where you're going, this, that. It's really spending time to, again, cultivate these little tools that you need. Spend time to, set boundaries in your marriage.
Yeah.
You understand? You talk about moments of just saying, listen, every Monday, every Monday we're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about, listen, how our finances look. Every Thursday we're gonna sit down and we're gonna have a Bible study. You get what I'm saying? When we get in bed, we're gonna pray together, we're gonna talk, how do you feel? Like these little moments of these little things, it's you know, say quote unquote, it's micromanaging your marriage.
Yeah.
So if anything should creep in, it's not gonna catch you unaware.
Yeah.
Because you're crossing the T's and dotting the I's together in love, in unity. Like you're creating that safe space. You understand, babe? Listen, no, no lock whatever on your phone, and if you have that lock code on your phone, I should know about it. Like these little things.
Yeah.
You know, you understand? So the relationship feels free, feels open. Don't wait until the troubles come, guys. You fix up the house before the storm comes. You make
Yeah.
sure the house well proper before the storm comes.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So if the storm does hit, God forbid, God
Have a better
forbid,
chance.
you understand? But if it does, you have a better chance of weathering that storm.
Yes.
Because I guarantee you guys, a lot of persons, you get caught unaware. And that's why you have so many relationships just, and I'm talking about some simple things.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be infidelity why relationships break up. It's just some other things that you feel like, okay, we're supposed to have the tools to get past this.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But they catch up and you're like, oh my God, oh my God. And that's where it ends. So guys,
Wow.
take stock of your marriage.
Yes.
Spend time to cultivate these tools, communicating, praying together, like having discussions, setting time apart. Time to date nights, whether it's in the house or out the house. Like spend time to cultivate your marriage.
Yes.
Don't wait until problem come. If you need to see a counselor, do the post-marital counseling.
Please.
You get what I'm saying? It doesn't have to be based on when that happened, you're now running to a counselor.
Yeah.
If you can spend a one money or you can, you know, somebody
Invest,
at church,
yeah.
like whatever it is. We want to learn about each other. We
Yeah.
want to know like each other's strengths and weaknesses in this light.
Yeah.
Being able to talk about certain things without feeling. You get what I'm saying, guys?
Yes.
Learn, understand your partner.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So, yes, guys, we need to get back to basic. You know, sometimes, and I always say it, a lot of marriages, and especially based on maybe culture, I don't know, it's easy for us to just program on autopilot. I guarantee you, structure, and I see that it's getting late. Structure is one of the hardest things to cultivate in every aspect of your life.
Yep.
I promise you, even just to cultivate a structured life when it comes to even just being a Christian.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about programming, no. The consistency, it programs your subconscious mind.
Yeah.
The more you do it, it programs your subconscious, so you get used to it. But I'm talking about putting different things in place and following that channel.
Yeah.
It's one of the hardest things to do. Oh, I'm going to read this book. Every day I'm going to get up and read this. Man, are the hardest thing because you are not committed to it. So it's easy to go off autopilot. You do it when you feel like.
Autopilot is safe.
Yeah, that's like a safe space for a lot of persons. Autopilot. We do it when we feel like.
Yes.
We say I love you when we feel like. This when we feel like. And that is where a lot of couples are operating. But no successful person in business, we're even talking about business,
Yeah.
they never run off autopilot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Most of these people that you've seen that are successful in business, the billionaires, they had a structure.
Yeah.
These people that you see, social media influencers, they have a structured life.
Have to.
Because that is now how you're going to see exactly consistency.
Yeah.
That is how you get up early in the morning, you pray, you do this, you do that. You're cultivating that structure in your life. Every day, whatever you check in with Huzzy, are you okay? You're creating that structure in your life.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying, guys?
Amen.
We have to get there. We have to take stock. We have to put certain things in place because the devil is going to creep in every way that he can to destroy what God has given. He's going to fight.
Yeah.
He's going to fight. So how you counteract that?
Yes.
Is every chance you get consistency, you just keep putting these things into place and follow up. Let it be like breathe into you.
Yeah.
Let it be like, okay, this is like a routine. This is like you know, understand?
Yeah.
Let it become the norm. So when the storm comes, you're able to weather that storm because you listen. We do the groundwork. We do the groundwork. Single people is the same thing. So when you get into marriage, you listen. This is what it is.
Amen.
So it's like light work.
Amen.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. Amen. And with that being said, we are going to go have a wonderful night.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being out tonight, and thank you for those who were early. Well, considering our time.
Yes.
But you came in and you joined and you participated. Thank you. When you come the next live, the protocol now is each one take one. All right. So God bless you guys. Bye bye.
Well, good night, guys. Blessings.